Late at night, I proposed to break up with my online dating partner. The movie king who was live streaming lowered his head to look at his mobile phone. And suddenly his eyes turned red with grievance. Isn't online dating also a form of dating? How can you break up just like that? Netizens? I'm an 18-line unknown star in the entertainment industry. And I've been a bit down lately. Because I'm really so unknown. Some time ago, 3 of my TV dramas were aired in succession. But they didn't cause any stir at all. Although I didn't play the leading female role, I still had roles with some lines. It shouldn't be that there was no topic of discussion at all. Right? I huddled on the sofa, feeling extremely depressed. Messages from my online dating partner came one after another. Baby, what are you doing? Why haven't you replied to my messages all this time? Then I'll go play by myself. It's okay. I can be fine alone. It has been X hours and X minutes without any news from baby. Even a man of steel will have a broken heart. Baby, I'm going to work again. Today, my co-workers praised me for being able to carry everything. They're wrong. I can't bear missing you at all. I was a bit irritable. My agent Stella came over with a glass of milk and glanced at my mobile phone. Are you chatting with your wild king brother again? I quickly threw my mobile phone a little farther away. Stella smiled and said earnestly, Anna, you have such an advantageous face. It's really a pity if you don't become famous. If you don't have enough energy, give up some things appropriately. I lowered my eyes. Before, in order to participate in a game variety show, I played games for a while. It was also during that time that I met this Uncle Nayu in Fandiu Garden. He was not only emotionally stable and highly skilled, but also had a voice so charming that it can make people fall in love. Except for being a bit clingy. He had no other problems. But his clinginess would also distract me. Stella was right. I haven't even built my career yet. Why should I be in an online relationship? I took some time to build up my courage and made up my mind to send him the first message today. Sorry. Let's break up. Stella affirmed my behavior. That's the kind of determination we should have. People in our circle should all have career ambition. As she spoke, she handed over a device with a live stream on. Jason has just started a live stream. Come and have a look and learn from him. He is the most career-minded person in the circle. He has never been distracted by any trifles other than work. So now he is a movie king. I looked at the screen. Jason on the screen looked calm and at ease, chatting with the barrage with great ease. In my impression, he has always been calm and steady. Among his fans, cold, aloof and noble, are his bywords. No wonder he is so popular. I began to carefully observe every expression of his and study earnestly. Just as I was watching, his mobile phone beside him seemed to buzz. Jason's eyes lit up. He immediately picked it up and lowered his head to look at the message. I don't know what the message was. Just one glance. And his original calmness disappeared instantly, replaced by daze, panic and helplessness. His eyes turned red immediately. He even didn't care that he was still live streaming and blurted out to his mobile phone in a very aggrieved tone. Isn't online dating also a form of dating? How can you break up just like that? As soon as he finished speaking, I couldn't help but shiver. Then, after careful recollection, I realized something was wrong. Online dating? Break up? This sounded so familiar. Stella slowly widened her eyes. With trembling hands, I picked up my mobile phone with a glimmer of hope. Sure enough, I had just received a reply from my online dating partner. It was exactly the same as what Jason had just said in the live stream. After Jason said that sentence, he quickly ended the live stream. Immediately after that, I received a bombardment from my online dating partner. Baby, can we communicate well? Don't be so hasty to break up. Are you in a bad mood lately? Shall I come to see you? Can I call you? Messages popped up one by one. Before I could even read them clearly, a WeChat call came in. I was so scared that I hung up on the spot. Stella was dumbfounded beside me. My heart was pounding wildly. The last message sent by Uncle Naya was going to work. Immediately after that, Jason started the live stream. Plus, I had thought before that his voice was very similar to Jason's. But after all, it was through the phone microphone. So I didn't dare to be sure. Moreover, how could I dare to think that Jason was in a relationship with me? Stella had already accepted this fact very quickly. She skillfully opened Weibo. There was a topic on the hot search list climbing at an astonishing speed. The entry "Jason was dumped in online dating" firmly occupied the top of the hot search list. Netizens were in an uproar. No way. No way? Jason, you are actually a lovesick fool? I didn't dare to think about it before. But if you carefully observe the expression on Laoji's face at the end, he was really so aggrieved. He couldn't hold it back even during the live stream. It's a solid proof of being a lovesick fool. I'm going crazy. When will it be my turn to have an online relationship with a movie king? No. I want to say, he finally had a live stream once. And he ended it just because of this? Which sister-in-law was making a fuss about breaking up? Hands? Can't we divide it after the broadcast is over? Stella pursed her lips. Anna. Perhaps. You're going to be in trouble. The trouble Stella mentioned was that Jason's online dating partner had been exposed as me. By that time, I might not only be jointly boycotted by his fans, but also resisted by himself. Afraid that it would come true, I didn't hesitate to delete Jason. After being deleted, he sent a friend verification every 2 minutes, begging me to add him back and communicate with him properly. But I just pretended not to see it. Originally, I thought that with my status, I wouldn't have any extra interactions with Jason. Unexpectedly, on the second day after the breakup incident, I received an invitation to a highly popular live-stream slow variety show. Jason was also on the list of guests. Holding the notebook, Stella and I looked at each other in dismay. After repeated discussions, we reached a conclusion: it would be stupid not to participate in such a well-known, long-established variety show. Stella earnestly exhorted, "You should be restrained and must not be discovered by Jason." On the first day of recording, I went there apprehensively. Only when I got there did I find that Jason was surrounded by people, and I couldn't squeeze in even if I wanted to. I let out a sigh of relief and silently shrank into the corner to be a good background board. Jason still had that unhurried look and talked to others freely. It seemed that his loss of composure that night was just a dream. After everyone briefly introduced themselves, Sister Zhu, an established singer, took the lead and said, "Now our big family is officially established. Let's add each other's contact information first and create a group, so that we can communicate in a timely manner if there is anything." The guests nodded one after another, and took out their mobile phones in approval. Most of the others were already friends with each other. And because of my low status, I was the least familiar with everyone. I quickly brought up my QR code and held it out for the others to scan one by one. After one beep sound after another ended, a slightly puzzled hum suddenly came from in front of me. Who to from Fandu Garden? I looked up. Jason was standing in front of me, with his brows slightly furrowed, staring intently at my screen. It's not clear what is on the screen here in the original text. After realizing what he was puzzled about, I was instantly thunderstruck. It's all over. I used my personal WeChat for the online dating before. Since we started adding friends right at the beginning, I didn't have time to react and change to a small account. He has seen that this account is mine. Jason also noticed my abnormality. He narrowed his eyes and his tone was drawn out long. "Who to? Is it you?" I almost fumbled to turn off the screen of my mobile phone, trying hard to pretend as if nothing had happened. Is there anything wrong? Jason quietly glanced at the mobile phone I hid behind my back. Nothing. Just saw this name and thought it was quite familiar. He thought for a while again. "Have you always been called this?" I was so nervous that I started to talk nonsense. I'm rather childish. So he didn't reply immediately. Taking advantage of his looking down, I quickly took out my mobile phone. By the way, I didn't notice that it was set as my work account just now. Let's change to my personal account to add. Otherwise it will seem distant. As I said this, I logged out of my personal WeChat and logged into my work WeChat. He nodded, scanned the code to add me, and before turning around to leave, he gave me a deep look, as if he wanted to see through me completely. I shivered all over. Hurriedly, I held my mobile phone and went to find the others, and changed all the added friends to my work WeChat. After the group was created, this session was called, I have, you haven't, and the guests were required to say one thing that they thought was unique in turn. If the others hadn't done it, the others would deduct 1 point. They either said that they had won the Best Actor award, or that they had won the Super Golden Melody award. In the blink of an eye, I was left with only 1 point. I could only wait nervously for the next guest to speak. When it was Jason's turn, he seemed to have thought for a long time before slowly speaking. I have had an online dating relationship. As soon as these words came out, the other guests exploded. Jason, you really dare to say anything? I'm about to cry. My winning streak is going to be broken by Jason. One after another, the others wailed and put down a finger, which was regarded as deducting 1 point. He didn't say anything, with a faint smile always on his lips, and his eyes glanced over everyone's hands one by one. When it came to me, he stopped, because I didn't deduct points from myself. Firstly, if I deducted more, I would have to directly accept the punishment. Secondly, if I was really exposed in the future, lying at this time would probably become new negative news. After struggling, I chose to take a gamble. Jason slightly raised his eyebrows at me. Anna has also had an online dating relationship? I pretended to be extremely regretful about it and deliberately diverted the time point. I was too young and naive at that time. He nodded, and the whole person seemed to relax. However, the barrage began to condemn me. Where the hell did this no-name star come from? Is there something wrong with her? Everyone else deducted points for themselves. But what is she trying to be so conspicuous here? She deducted points for herself in the previous few rounds. But when it comes to Jason, she starts to act coy. What's on her mind? Does she think others can't see it? This sister probably thinks smugly now that she has successfully attracted Jason's attention. Right? Come on, girl. If you want to ride on Jason's popularity and get more camera time, just say it directly. I would. I happen to have experienced the things that the following several guests said. Only then did I narrowly avoid becoming the one to accept the punishment and clean the couch. After the first ice-breaking game, the top 2 with the most remaining points would become the captains in the next session and choose their own team members freely. Jason, who had the highest score, could choose first. He scanned the crowd. Then he said 5 words sonorous lie. I choose Anna. I was huddled at the very edge and was startled in my heart. Somewhat incredulously, I pointed at myself, trembling lie. Me? Me? He nodded to me affirmatively. Yes. It's you. Seeing that I still had no reaction, he pursed his lips in embarrassment. Don't you want to be on my team? I was so frightened that I waved my hands repeatedly. No. No, of course not. He smiled and extended his hand to me. Then come over here. The barrage was excited again. Help. Has this sister really latched on? Why did Jason choose her first? I told you. Among so many all-round guests, she has successfully caught Jason's attention. I'm so speechless. When choosing team members, you should choose strong ones. This unknown starlet looks like she can't do anything. Are you choosing her to be a drag? Jason, be more sensible. After both teams finished choosing people, the rules of the new round were introduced to us. In this round, the team members need to take turns to stimulate the emotions of each member. When the emotion reaches the specified threshold, it is over. The team that takes the shortest time wins, and can have a right to choose the afternoon activity. One is to pick up sheep dung pellets. and the other is to have a picnic. Under such a strong contrast, everyone was full of fighting spirit. Everyone used all kinds of annoying and mean tricks, making the previous guests basically full of fluctuating emotions on both sides. But when it came to the captain of the other team, it only took a short time to reach the threshold. The gap between the two teams was instantly widened. When it was my turn, there was still nearly the same gap. Serafina in the same group said that there was food on my teeth. But the machine had no reaction. Sister Zhu said that my collar was showing too much. But the machine still had no reaction. Jason folded his arms and said casually, 2-2. Are we playing games tonight? The machine above my head immediately sounded the alarm loudly. He hooked his lips with satisfaction and cast a meaningful look at me. My heart was pounding wildly. That sentence was his pet phrase when we made an appointment to play games online. Why did he suddenly say it to me? Sister Zhu was shocked. Damn. What kind of magic sentence is this? Why are you so excited all of a sudden? I removed the machine in a flurry, feeling very guilty. Because I like Hututu very much. So I'm too excited. Sister Zhu turned around and gave Jason a thumbs up. It has to be Jason. But how did you know that Anna likes Hututu? He smiled casually. Just a guess. My total time successfully narrowed the gap between the two teams. The heavy responsibility then fell on the last two people. As long as Jason was faster than the other person, we could win. But I no longer cared about having to pick up sheep dung pallets if we lost. Because all I could think about was the intention behind Jason's just said sentence. In the game, no matter how the other guests provoked him, his emotions remained very stable. I accidentally made eye contact with Serafina, who turned her head. Her eyes lit up as if she had an inspiration, and she walked quickly to my side without hesitation. She pushed me forward forcefully. I fell right into Jason's arms without deviation. My pupils dilated in shock. The moment he reached out to catch me, the machine sounded a very loud alarm. The time used was less than that of the other group. And we won successfully. After the result was announced, the barrage exploded directly. What? What's going on here? I don't understand. I'll go abroad to study for a postgraduate degree and come back to watch. Let the class representative summarize for you. Anna's emotional outburst was because of Jason. And Jason's emotional outburst was because of Anna. Understand? I think Jason was just scared. Anyone would have a faster heartbeat if someone suddenly rushed over. Right? Upstairs. This is an emotion detector, not a heartbeat detector. A simple faster heartbeat is not enough. Only when one is really excited will it ring. I'm really curious. How did Jason know that Anna likes Hututu? And his eyes were always wandering around Anna. Why? Why? She managed to latch on. What else is there to ask? At this time, my legs had completely gone weak. There were a pair of scalding big hands tightly supporting my waist. In my ear was his deliberately lowered breathy voice, which was seductively charming. 2-2. How long do you still want to pretend? I felt my chest rising and falling rapidly. And I could hardly breathe. I don't. Before I could speak, a burst of cheers erupted around me. Sister Zhu clapped her hands excitedly. Oh. My God. Whether to pick up shit or not is just in an instant. The other guests in the same group were also very excited. Serafina winked at me. Anna. I knew you could do it. While talking, Jason had already straightened my body steadily, with his palm on my back. Be careful. I still wanted to explain more, but he had obviously skipped the previous topic on his own and didn't say any more. Because of the victory in this round of the game, we got the qualification for a picnic. The young singer asked eagerly when the picnic would be. Smilingly, he said, we will provide the ingredients for the picnic, but you need to do the cooking by yourselves. Serafina immediately had a subway old man looking at his phone face. Then what did we strive so hard to win this game for? Sister Zhu was also in a dilemma. Is there anyone among us who can cook? When everyone was at a loss and looking at each other, I weakly raised my hand. I know a little. Actually, apart from being an actor, I have another identity. A chef with a chef's license. All of a sudden, several hands from different people slapped my back simultaneously. Chef.He. We will be good assistants. Under everyone's expectant gazes, I simply took stock of the ingredients provided by the program group. There were quite a lot of things that could be made. Fried chicken, rice balls, pizza, sushi, sandwiches, desserts. I assigned tasks to everyone as quickly as I could. York. Wash the vegetables. Sister Zhu. Steam the rice. Serafina. Beat the eggs. I was arranging things satisfactorily. Suddenly, Jason pushed himself in front of me, pouting. What about me? Am I useless? I didn't expect him to be so enthusiastic. After hesitating for a long time, I really didn't want to have too much interaction with him. Oh, why don't you go and help Serafina beat the eggs? He didn't seem very satisfied with this arrangement. Afraid that he would object, I quickly trotted to the stove to heat up the oil in the pan. Barrage. Why do I feel that Anna doesn't seem to want to pay attention to Jason at all right now? It's all an act. I know exactly what this kind of person is thinking. When she said she had an online relationship, she just wanted to show how special she was. The person upstairs is sick. Isn't it possible that she has had an online relationship? Don't be so malicious towards girls. At least for now. Anna is holding up this family. Stop criticizing. Moreover, she could completely pretend to be weak and let Jason watch the fire for her. Sending Jason to Serafina like this definitely doesn't mean anything else. Seconded. Look at Jason's aggrieved little expression. Anna didn't give him a task and he's about to be furious. I was waiting in front of the stove for the oil temperature to be right, and was just about to fry a batch of French fries. Jason walked over quickly. With an expectant expression, is there anything I can do to help here? I looked up in confusion. Didn't I ask you to help Serafina beat the eggs? He pointed in Serafina's direction. It's all done. 20 eggs. Is it enough? Serafina was holding a large basin, with a bewildered and confused expression on her face. I wiped my sweat silently. Then go and see if York needs any help? He nodded and went as told. After a while, he walked over again with his long legs. Is there anything I can do to help here? Seeing that my expression was strange, he quickly explained, all the things over there have been washed. Turning my head to look, York was indeed leaning comfortably against the sink and nibbling on a cucumber. I looked around with a distorted face, trying to find him a new task. Then you. Before I could finish, he interrupted me rather plaintively. Can't you let me help you? I was stunned for a moment. Just as I was about to explain, he already had a melancholic expression on his face. Or do you think I'm too useless? Barrage. Those who miss this part are missing out. When has anyone ever seen Jason with this expression before? Jason, you know how to be so tea-like with your words. It makes me laugh so hard that the earth shakes and mountains collapse. And then the stone ladders and stockades are linked together. Anna's expression is even funnier. She seems to be scolding with her face. Are you okay? Under Jason's strong request, I had to let him learn the skill of frying French fries beside me. Cut some thick ones and some thin ones because everyone may have different tastes. Jason nodded obediently, and then suddenly remembered something. He covered his microphone while asking, do you like thick ones or thin ones? I didn't think too much. Thin ones. He then straightened my collar for me and covered my microphone as well while continuing to ask, do you add ketchup to your French fries? Yes. Do you like French fries or fried chicken? Both. Why did you suddenly break up? You're too clingy. Realizing what was going on, I slowly raised my head, extremely frightened. No. Let me explain. He looked down at me, with a rather pitiful look in his eyes. Just because of this? I can change what you don't like about me. I was so flustered that I started to babble. No, well. this matter. It's not that he won't do it. But, that is to say, we will definitely do our best. Yes. Man proposes. God disposes. Not daring to look at Jason's expression, I scurried over to Serafina, afraid that he would continue this topic. Barrage. It's killing me. What on earth did Jason say? It scared Sister Yi so much that she was walking with both hands and feet in the same direction. What? Jason. You're not being nice. What kind of secret words do you have to say after turning off the microphone? Where is the program group? I'm going to make a fuss. I'm really going to make a fuss. Why is there no sound? Where is my $1 million sound system? I've seen through it long ago. Don't you think Jason is obviously very different towards Anna? It's just a young couple's trick. Until the picnic officially started, I tried my best to stick with Serafina and never have any alone contact with Jason. She rolled her eyes at me. What? Are you using me as a human shield because you two had a fight? I quickly covered her mouth. Nothing of the sort. Don't talk nonsense. When everyone had sat down one after another, I found a corner to sit in. Sister Zhu picked up a rice ball. Anna taught me how to make this rice ball by hand. It must taste great. York also picked up a piece of pizza without showing weakness. Anna also taught me how to bake this pizza. It must be delicious. Everyone started to promote the food they had made. Only Jason remained silent. He raised his head and downed a glass of cocktail in one gulp, and quickly refilled his glass. With that posture, he was simply magnificent and heroic. York couldn't help but ask him, "Brother, you start drinking like this right away? Can you handle it?" Jason didn't answer immediately. He drank another glass and then looked at me pitifully. What if I can't handle it? Anyway, no one cares about me. York was stunned. I was also stunned. Bullet comments. It's hilarious. Before, I didn't know what Westlake Longjing tea tasted like. After seeing Jason, I know. I feel that Jason really likes Sister Yi. He even made tea for love. What should I do? Woo woo. My girlish heart is about to run wild again. It's more than just liking. This guy is almost writing his thoughts on his face. First, he looks at Anna pitifully. Anna doesn't care about me at all. I really recognize Jason's tea-making skills. So Sister Yi, can you satisfy him a little? He is really so aggrieved. Although I felt that Jason seemed to be talking about me, but I didn't dare to move at all. I could only carefully move a little further aside. York thought for a long time, and silently raised his glass to clink with Jason's. Brother, I will care about you. Sister Zhu didn't realize that something was wrong. While eating a rice ball, she said, "Can't we just eat like this? Shall we do something fun?" Everyone nodded. After discussion, they started to play the game of truth or dare. Jason was only focused on pouring alcohol into himself and soon lost. Serafina's eyes lit up, and she immediately said, "I want to hear about Jason's online dating experience." I was startled in my heart. Under the expectant eyes of everyone, Jason let out a long sigh and put down his glass. That experience was really wonderful. When she blocked me, it was also really sudden. Sister Zhu was puzzled. Then why did she block you? Jason took another gloomy look at me. She said I was too clingy. Serafina laughed like a duck. I felt even more guilty and desperately tried to move to a position where no one would notice me. A bullet comment popped up. I have a bold guess. Jason and Anna have both had online dating experiences. Is there a possibility that they are each other's online dating partners? Actually, I feel that it's Sadie likely. Because Jason has to give Sister Yi a suggestive look every time he says a word. It's really hilarious. Damn. Blind lad. You've discovered the key point. Everyone's interrogation of Jason didn't stop. But he himself still seemed extremely willing. He told clearly about how we met through online dating. Who confessed their love. What we did every day when we were together. He explained every little thing clearly. He revealed everything. I was on pins and needles. After longing for a long time, they finally skipped Jason. As a result, unexpectedly, I was the next one to lose. Serafina's eyes looked back and forth on my face. And then she smiled mysteriously. Well, Anna, tell us your online dating story too? Under the expectant eyes of many, I could only bite the bullet and start talking. But this kind of thing really couldn't be made up in a short time. So I could only modify my real experience a little. He was quite good at it. We matched several times. So we added each other as friends. Yes. We basically made a phone call for a while before going to bed. We broke up. Already broke up. Sister, she wrinkled her brows in confusion. Why do I feel that what you just said is very similar? Is it like this for all online dating? Or did you two date the same person online? I shook my head hurriedly. No. Online dating is all. Before I finished speaking, Jason tilted his head and interrupted. Now that you mention it, the voice of my online dating partner was really similar to Anna's. I froze in place. It's all over. Could it be that we will be exposed like this? Just as I was thinking despairingly, Jason suddenly curled his lips. Maybe it's because you are also very similar. I nodded quickly and tried to cover it up. That's really a coincidence. But my online dating partner was quite different from Jason. Jason smiled again. Then if it were you, would you get back together with someone like me? I was suddenly embarrassed. After thinking for a long time, I said carefully, I don't dare to answer this randomly either. How about we move on to the next one? Jason's expression visibly became disappointed. Bullet comments. I, as a detective, officially announced that Anna is the one who had an online date with Jason and Dumpton. Look at the little gestures between these two. There are so many that they could build a Barbie castle. It's hilarious. In such a short time, Sister Yi's brain is almost fried. Jason has planned and laid so much groundwork just to ask Sister Yi if she is willing to get back together. He really makes me want to cry. Sister Yi, can you give him a chance? I couldn't agree more. Although Jason is clingy, it's because he loves you. Sister. After the picnic ended, the live broadcast camera was turned off. The guests could move freely. Serafina dragged me to tell her the online dating story for a long time before she let me go. Who would have thought that just as I walked to the door of the room, I was blocked by a solid figure. Jason lowered his head, and his facial features were hidden in the shadow. I wanted to run away, but my wrist was tightly grasped. A low, mellow and slightly hoarse voice came from behind. Anna, can you talk to me? I turned my head stiffly. He pulled me in front of him, his tone almost pleading. Let's have a good talk about the breakup. Okay? I really couldn't say no directly. I could only tentatively draw back my hand. You let go first. He obediently let go. I let out a long sigh. He lowered his eyes. I'm really happy to know that you are so close to me in reality. If you think I'm annoying, I can really change. I just want to talk to you so much. It doesn't matter if you don't reply to me. Looking at him like this, I felt a twinge of sorrow in my heart. I couldn't help but say, actually, it's not your fault. It's me who is so useless. My career is in a mess. And my life is also in chaos. He began to lower his head and break his fingers. During that time before, I was deeply involved in negative news. I could only play games every day to relieve my mood. Your appearance almost cured me. I really don't want to lose you. Even if you put me at the very end of your life. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm still in your life. When he said this, I suddenly remembered. During that time, the box office momentum of Jason's movie was so strong that there were indeed a lot of negative rumors. Stella said that they had made a lot of efforts to barely clarify them. So was I. I couldn't pour out all my work troubles to Stella. After he appeared, I had someone to pour out everything to. Actually, he is also very important to me. I was a little shaken, But I really feel that I don't have so much time to chat on WeChat every day. Jason looked at me. It doesn't matter. We can transfer this part of the time to real life. At night, I couldn't fall asleep because of insomnia. Tossing and turning. The next day, I could only get up with a pair of eyes with eyeshadow, on their own. When I arrived at the restaurant, I found that everyone looked lifeless. After asking, I learned that the program team would assign different tasks to the guests according to the order in which they got up. Complete the tasks while having breakfast. I got up neither too early nor too late. And the task I drew was to have breakfast with my previous person with our arms linked. The person before me was Serafina. And the one before her was Jason. At this moment, Jason looked at me and Serafina with our arms linked. And his eyes wide and with anger. Bullet screen, help. Look at Jason. His face is going to swell into a pufferfish with anger. Laughing like crazy. What a shocking start. Jason, don't forget that you were a cold and noble man before. You're almost losing all your dignity in front of Sister Yi. Jason heartbroken version. Why did I get up 1 minute earlier? Obviously. If I had got up a little later, it would have been my turn. I didn't pay much attention to these. I completed the task with Serafina. You're quacked over with sleepy eyes. The program team gave him a task card. It was to eat a wide noodle with his previous guest. I looked at that wide noodle. It was really long and wide. If two people ate it together, it should be a great test for the masseter muscles. I was about to speak when Jason beside me suddenly raised his hand, facing outside the camera. Director Chen. This won't do. Everyone present was stunned. He ran over seriously. Director Chen. I'm willing to help you complete this task. Please do consider me. At that moment, I seemed to see a big question mark given to Jason with eyes. Bullet screen. Jason horrified version. I will never allow other men to have intimate interactions with Sister Yi. I'm about to laugh my head off. Why does this guy seem to be possessed? Before, a cold, arrogant, and cool guy. Now, a lovesick silly son of Uncle Wang at the village entrance. Please. The editing team must cut out Jason's expression changes just now. It's really wonderful. Under Jason's strong request, the director agreed to let him and Yerk eat the wide noodle together. After finishing the breakfast task, I saw Jason take off his microphone and trot all the way to find the director again. Suddenly, a bad premonition rose in my heart. Just in case. I followed him. Jason squatted beside the director and whispered, Director Chen. Anna and I made up last night. Can you not arrange any intimate interactions between her and other men? The director looked at him in horror and tremblingly raised his finger to point behind his ear. I'm still wearing the microphone for sound collection. I, who was eavesdropping attentively with my ears perked up, felt dizzy. The bullet screen exploded immediately. Damn. It's real. Guys. Made up? Did you hear that? Made up. They are for real. What's there to be excited about? Jason has almost written on his face that they are for real. I'm already used to it. Isn't the key point that they made up? The young couple made up secretly behind our backs. You two kiss in front of me first. If you don't, I'll kill you all. Because of Jason's little mistake, he and I were soon on the hot search. Although, I did promise to get along with him for a while and give it a try. But I didn't expect it to be like this directly either. Stella sent me a lot of bombarding messages. I was too powerless to explain. Facing the soaring popularity, neither Jason nor I chose to respond. I was afraid that in case we still broke up later, there would be no need to respond at this time. Jason was forcibly held down by me, looking very aggrieved. I didn't expect it either. I took off my microphone before going to find Director Chen. I punched him fiercely. After discussing with Stella, I decided to deal with this matter coldly. Jason also agreed. The program continued to be recorded. Just try our best to minimize the scope of our interaction. For example, We will hardly be assigned to the same group when playing games anymore. Naturally, I will inevitably cooperate with other male guests to do tasks as well. Once, when doing the three-legged race with York, he held my arm for fear that I would fall. Jason's eyes were almost spitting fire. Another time, when playing, You Draw, I Guess with another actor. We had a great tacit understanding. Jason's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot in the audience. At times like this, all I could do was pray again and again in my heart. Bullet screen. Do you two lovers think the audience are all fools? Do you think we can't see it like this? Although it can be seen that Sister Yi has been trying hard to avoid suspicion, Jason's eyes have never left her. You two are really... I'm so touched. No. 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 When Jason sees the camera, his eyes will wander around, showing that nothing has happened. His acting skills are really clumsy. It's so hilarious. So why on earth are you unwilling to make it public? Jason is really pitiful. After finishing recording the variety show in Fear, my popularity soared. Some were attracted by my CP with others. Some were attracted by my cooking skills. And some were attracted by my appearance. Netizens began to dig deep into my acting history as a little-known actor. Some of my previous supporting roles were dug out and widely spread. Big production teams that I could never reach before also extended olive branches to me. The director told me that the reason why I hadn't been popular all along was that I hadn't found a suitable path for myself. Although I had acting skills, the character settings were not suitable for me. So naturally I couldn't attract the attention of the audience. He arranged a role for me as a cold and glamorous sister-in-charge type of female second lead and asked me to study it wholeheartedly. I listened to the director very much and spent most of my time on the set. When Jason sent me messages and didn't get a reply, he would directly bring all kinds of supplies to the set to see me. He did as he promised. He would never disturb me when I was working. He just silently watched behind the camera and handed me a cup of coffee during my break. After the set photos of this drama were released, a large number of people left messages on my Weibo saying hiss. Hiss. Some other people went to Jason's Weibo and commented, "You really have a good taste." Boy. He took screenshots one by one and showed them to me, saying, "Baby. Look. Your popularity has already surpassed mine now." I ignored him and continued to discuss dubbing with the post-production staff. Jason, I know my heart is born to be broken. After the TV drama was broadcast, I had my first real sense small-scale popularity explosion. I received more suitable scripts. I really achieved a steady rise in my career. On the day when my Weibo followers exceeded 10,000, Jason couldn't wait to post a dynamic, "I will run towards you without hesitation this time. Next time. Every time. Happy 20 million fireworks at that time." I was concentrating on reading the script and didn't immediately forward that dynamic. He hugged me from behind and buried his head in my shoulder socket. "Baby. You promised me that when you reached 20 million followers, we would make it public. Have you forgotten?" My neck itched because his hair rubbed against it. "Of course not." Then I picked up my phone and forwarded his dynamic. A large number of blessing messages instantly flooded into the background. Jason held his phone and read them one by one. And occasionally read them out to me. "Baby. Look. This person said he wants to see us get married immediately. And this person. He said he wants to poop in our new house. Baby. Look. This person wishes us to have 8 babies at once. Although I know you don't want to let the fans down. But aren't you a little too hasty?" I silently looked at Jason lying on top of me. "Have you not been working out lately?" I didn't mean anything else. I just felt that his muscles seemed to be a little looser. His expression changed, as if he had suffered some great humiliation. You. I'll let you feel right away whether I've been working out lately." What? Are men also face conscious? I was so exhausted that I could hardly hold his neck. "Know that you work out every day." He bent down and kissed my earlobe. "Not enough. I worked like crazy for several years. I won quite a few awards. big and small. Finally, I climbed to a height on a par with Jason. On the night when I won the Best Actress award, I felt a great sense of relief. On the podium, I especially thanked Jason. The host's eyes turned. I heard that our Jason is also here at the scene. Let's invite him to come on stage too. I was stunned. The big screen camera turned, and the staff helped Jason onto the podium. I took a closer look. Jason was crying so hard that he could hardly catch his breath and was unsteady on his feet. He was more excited than me. The award winner, the host said with a smile. It seems that Jason really loves Teacher Yi. You are more excited than she is when she won this award. Jason wiped away his tears. Of course I'm excited. For this award. She was on the set every day for a whole year. From now on, I don't have to be alone in the empty house finally. How can I not be excited? That night, it became a hot search topic. Jason, I'm so excited. Jason alone in the empty house. Jason a sick fool, looking at one topic after another. I wanted to say something but hesitated. Jason had already dried his tears and no longer looked like he did just now. He lay on my chest. Baby, you've achieved your goal. Now, is it time to fulfill mine? In a hazy state of consciousness, I seemed to hear a murmur. You are the breeze, the sunset glow. You are the heartbeat. Irreplaceable. 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 Irreplaceable.